because I think now Wirecast and Microsoft Teams and NDI are I'm going to say you are at the top forefront of the industry for integration of those three things. So,
and just a quick recap of where this all came from and the beauty of Teams adding NDI, the ability to pull NDI and generate an NDI feed and make NDI discoverable on your network, is we had to do all these painstaking screen captures, whether it was a single one or if you had 5 people on your Teams event. We had to make all these screen captures. Those days are gone. Teams, I think this is like leading stuff right now. Hey, we've got Ryan and Sean as well. Thanks for joining. So in Teams, normally, this would where we'd be screen capturing everyone. But Teams right now is generating an NDI feed and allowing this to be discoverable by Wirecast. So let's leave Teams open. So let's add a new shot.
Yeah.
Let's go to network. And look what we have. Greg, Ryan, Sean. I believe that's me, active speaker. And let's just try adding everybody. Let's add Greg. Let's add Ryan. Let's add Sean.
So each one of the people in the Teams call is now coming in as an individual input into Wirecast. We're not running any special hardware. We're not running everyone on their own separate laptop. This is all happening through, essentially you're running a Wirecast gear over there, correct?
Exactly.
This to me is a game changer. We now have the technology with Wirecast to actually create an engaging, entertaining, interactive Teams meeting, and at the same time, if you wanted to, you could be encoding and going to Facebook or YouTube Live for an audience who wanted to watch it. This is not just, this to me is a holy grail moment. And the reason I say that is because I am so sick of staring at postage stamp people and presentations that are out of sync of where everyone's heads are. And if I need you to go back to the other one, I can't see you because that person's not on the video anymore. He's off to the side because I'm sharing my screen. So a town hall of guests is something that educators are having to do to commute with their communities. We know that doctors are trying to do it to communicate with each other. We see that happening in government all the time. We see it happening in worship. You know, you want to be interactive with the people interacting, but you also want to bring that whole presentation and let people be as if they were there at your meeting. And this is how you can do it with the Wirecast gear. And it's really a game changer. I love how you've done this integration with Teams. Do you think we're going to see Zoom and, you know, Google Meets at some time in the future with this?
You know, they all have lunch together. But in Wirecast, I have full control or configuration over how I want my audio to be heard. Or let's say Sean didn't read the NDA.
Yeah.
I can hop in and just mute Sean. And, you know,
very cool.
Just be in control of everything. So ultimate configuration, ultimate flexibility, and really where do you want it to go? How do you want it to be presented? And how do you want it to be heard? So let's say that this is an internal meeting within a corporation. And in your typical Teams meeting, you could screen share. And it takes you a second to switch back and forth from your camera and your screen share. But let's open up Wirecast's full capabilities. And we have video playback, presentations, logos, lower thirds, really elevating this production. And the point of retaining the viewer's attention and getting your message across, whatever that is, having Wirecast to back you on that and deliver that visually and audibly is just huge.
And I can record my program in its full high res. I'm not getting the compressed version that's out in the Teams, Zoom, cloud world. I'm getting the full resolution that's in my premise for future use for encoding, for using for putting it into Premiere, maybe editing it down or picking out whatever I want. The 420 is adding some really cool stuff. First of all, through more I/O, you can actually have SDI coming out to run whatever you wanted to feed in your facility. If you were a church, you could have SDI going out to cameras in other rooms. You can have your SDI output wherever it needs to feed into. But what I really love is it's also got a discrete GPU. And that NVIDIA GPU means you could do these encoding things. And one of the things that just got announced recently, like 2 weeks ago, was NVIDIA is now an NDI partner, and they are actually encoding NDI into CUDA NVIDIA type instruction sets. So Where that's going to go in the very near future, to me, is going to be dramatic. You know, I know when they were thinking about this, they were thinking about esports and stuff like that. But I see so many ways that we can use that by by offloading CPU things to the GPU. It just means there's more we can do on the CPU side. And Wirecast has always used both CPU and GPU. And for my advice to people, if you're going to be doing something mission critical, every Sunday you're doing a house of worship thing, or you're using it for your corporate video communications, there's nothing wrong with a white box approach if you've got a tight budget. But those white boxes sometimes run into issues with heat and other performance issues. This product was designed to go for hours on end and just deliver phenomenal streams.